Hey everyone, this is Nick Baisley from FilmSnobbery.com. I'm here at the FirstGlance Film Festival in Philadelphia. Too many F and PHs there. But who am I here tonight with?
My name is Derek Lindemann. I'm the director of Calendar Girl.
And you, sir?
I'm Jake Matthews. I was the executive producer of Calendar Girl.
And why don't you go ahead and tell the folks at home a little bit about Calendar Girl and what the premise is and how you came up with it.
Sure. Calendar Girl is this story of this girl. I always feel movies are about characters and that sort of situations, but the situation this girl is in is that she lives in Philadelphia and a serial killer has killed one girl every month for the past 11 months. And he's making this sort of morose calendar, and the city is terrified and everybody's just up in arms. They can't find him. December comes around, and that's when we meet our protagonist, played by Jensen Booker, excellent actress. And the killer sends this taunting letter to the press, and she's convinced that it's her. She's convinced that she's going to be the next victim, and she's extremely flattered. So it's a comedy. It's sort of this dark romantic comedy, and it's just a ton of fun. And it was actually written by a girl called Faith Brody, and she wrote it back when she was in college. It kind of sat on the shelf for a couple years, and then when it sort of came out, we just started making movies together, and it just sort of seemed like the next thing we wanted to do. So we did it.
I don't know if you knew this, but there's a serial killer preying on girls like me.
It has been a horrific period in Philadelphia.
The Calendar Girl killer sent this letter to the press.
11 months, 11 female victims.
It's been quite a year, my calendar is nearly complete, and what kind of artist would I be if I didn't save the best for last? A dark loner, bitter yet somehow sweet. It's me.
Not funny, Ari. Not funny.
This does kind of sound a lot like you.
Who do you think it is?
Chris. Phil.
Phil's a photographer. John came into the diner today.
Hey, Ari.
What are you doing here?
I missed you too.
I heard he's been with like a dozen girls since we broke up. It's kind of disgusting.
He's obviously no one's fool.
Guilty as charged, sir.
This is an open and closed case.
What about that guy who pays you in buttons?
You can keep all of that. It's a little more than 79 cents.
I hate you so much.
1, 2, 3, 4!
You work 2 doubles in a row to keep an eye on me.
Dangerous out there.
Bob put me on 3rd shift until they catch my secret admirer.
This is not a love letter. It's a death threat.
Do you think?
He doesn't just see these killings as killings. He sees them as a lead up to his art, if you will. I need you in one piece.
What are you gonna do with that?
Oh, it's gonna be amazing!
Terrifying.
Yeah.
And how long did it actually take for you guys to produce that movie?
Wow. We started in probably late 2009, and we shot in spring of 2010. We had 12 shooting days and then a couple reshoots afterwards. But I mean, I'd say shooting-wise, less than a month, but producing-wise, I'd say 6 months.
Yeah. It was, I mean, we didn't have a large budget at all. So we basically just had 12, white-knuckle, 15-hour days. So to make sure that they ran as smoothly as possible, we took a few months to actually make sure that the tracks were laid as smoothly as possible. And overall, it was actually a pretty bearable 12 days of not sleeping.
Now, you guys, you say that you didn't have a huge budget, but you guys have a great cast. And could you talk a little bit maybe about how you got everyone together?
Yeah, our one producer, Tommy Avalone, he's a PR and marketing monster. He's always got his thumb on the Philadelphia celebrity pulse. Who's going to be in town, when they're going to be in town. He checks, he's got a couple friends that work for the gossip columns. They know sort of what's going on. And for this one in particular, we're looking for a shooting sometime in March, April. And he was like, oh, Monster Mania is going to be in town. Let's see who's playing Monster Mania. That way they already have their hotel taken care of, their flight taken care of, and we just got to pick them up at the hotel, just drop off, and they'll do their stuff, and then we just send them right back, and it's as if we were in L.A., and you just grab someone as if they live there. So Corbin was in town, so we grabbed Corbin Burnson, who a lot of horror fans will know as the dentist, and a lot of sports fans will know as Roger Dorn, and he's currently on Psych, and he's an excellent actor, fantastic guy. We Gilbert Gottfried, notorious comedian. He was up in New York. We just sent a car up, picked him up. He came down, did day for us. And who else? We got Brian O'Halloran from Clerks. Yes. Who, he was the same thing. He was up in New Jersey. He read the script, he really liked it, and he wanted to do it. He came down.
And how did you cast the female lead? Was there a kind of, did you have someone in mind when you first started, or did you guys, really kind of go through an arduous casting process?
Well, Jensen we had met because Jake, myself, and Jensen, the lead, we had all met and started working together on this movie that we had done the year previous to doing Calendar Girls called No Footing. And in that, Jake plays the...
We do No Footing, in which I play a guidance counselor who's got all his stuff together.
Perfect man.
Perfect man, suit and tie wearing guidance counselor. And Jensen was the lead in that, and she played a young girl out of her depth, and she did it so damn well that next movie came along, and it was almost just, it was no question. It was just like, this is the girl. This is the girl.
We all wound up getting in that movie cast against type. And it was just sort of this coming age story about this girl who just graduated college and is just made by a bunch of dudes. This really kind of sweet story that on the surface it came out real nice. We're all really proud of it. It's real sweet, but like behind the scenes we're just a bunch of dudes just joking around, and Jensen fit in great. And so we sort of when we brought the script back out for Calendar Girl, we sort of started writing it with everybody in mind as to sort of cater to our strengths. So Jake plays the asshole. Can you say the asshole words?
Oh, you can say asshole, fuck, shit, bitch, whatever you want.
Say the fuck.
This is the internet. It's awesome.
So Jake plays the asshole. I play the nice guy. Yeah. I play the straight-laced, clean-shaven, which is this is not in the movie.
It is becoming, though. I almost want to bare knuckle box you.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because that may or may not be the next thing we're doing.
Next project could very well heavily feature some bare knuckle boxing.
Nice. I'm very excited about that. Now, this wasn't the first movie that you guys have done, but going into this movie, was there a lot that you learned to do something like this, to get prepared, and lessons you learned from previous films and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was this is one of those things that we did where what we found is we'll pick a budget, and then we'll work backwards. So we kind of had our producer, John Guarneri, sort of sat down, and he had sort of picked out this money figure that he's fairly certain we could grab, and so then we sort of just took the script and just sort of fit it into that mold. And that was one of the main things we've learned. Don't try to write your script first and then try to raise the budget for what you're looking for. And it was just sort of the stuff like that. We're just sort of grabbing the actors and sort of writing in. And we'll have like a one-day part that we'll sort of write for an actor like a Corbin or a Gilbert or a Brian, and we'll make it matter. We won't just make it a cameo where they just show up, say their line, and leave. We'll say, well, we know we can get this guy for a day for what we have in the budget. Let's just sort of pepper him out throughout, maybe get him on a phone call, something like that, and sort of spread him out so there's not just pockets of cameos, and actually make these people matter.
And I noticed that you have I've met a few of the producers of Calendar Girl here. It seems like every producer you guys have kind of has a specialty almost, like you said. Was it Tommy has the PR marketing kind of thing? What's your kind of superpower in terms of producing?
Oh, he's got the. Let me just chime in right here. He's as far as Captain Planet goes. They all got like the really cool rings. He got the fire. He's got heart.
Oh snap!
He's got the heart.
I got the heart,
which is the most important.
Which is the most important when you really think about it. He doesn't have the flash and flare of the fire ring, but no, I was the executive producer, which basically meant I found all this money, and I basically got most of the investors, more than half, wrangled them together, pitched them on the movie, and they liked it, and I got people to cash those or to write those checks. So
I may hire you for Film Snobbery, because that's what we know. Yeah, no, that's a very useful skill to have in terms of in any independent film or any independent production of any sort, whether it's web or just a business.
Absolutely.
When you guys decided, okay, this is the number we want to go, you're working backwards, were there a lot of rewrites and a lot of things that you had to do in terms of the script to make that fit the budget?
Yeah, I mean, from the gate, I mean, that was just sort of one of those things. We had done just low-budget stuff our whole lives, and we kind of knew what we could get for free, what we would have to pay for. So we basically, on this project in particular, got rid of everything we'd have to pay for. So we did things with product placements. You drop a name of a local business, and they'll give you some food or stuff like that. So we would kind of sort of pepper in things like that. We would do our little micro product placement. But yeah, I mean, it's little stuff like that. If you're always conscious of your budget, just like as if you're trying to balance your checkbook, which I cannot do, so I let someone else do it for me.
That's someone else's superpower. That's someone else's Captain Planet ring.
That's the general idea. I mean, you just keep that in mind.
Excellent. And in terms of making a movie on a budget, and and this would be a good question for you. because you're making it on a budget and because it is a, you guys already have a little bit of a track record making movies and stuff like that. Did you find it easier this go around to get a budget? You know, were you going back to some of the same people to get them to, you know, come on, you know, you supported us last time. How about a little more, dig a little deeper this time?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Every time that you've impressed somebody even the slightest, it becomes easier the next go around. This time around, you know, I mean, people saw the last movie that Derek and I did, and you know, anybody who saw it loved it, and I said, well, okay, let's roll it forward. And then the next movie after that, but yeah, I mean, you know, you show up, you basically impress somebody, and yeah, it becomes far easier as it goes. But I mean, you know, then again, the flip side of that is the budget increases as you go. So it definitely is easier.
And now, obviously, you guys have your pick of the festival circuit. I mean, there's hundreds or thousands of festivals out there. What kind of attracted First Glance to you guys? Was it the location mostly, or was it, you know, have you heard of it before?
Yeah, First Glance actually, well, the film that, the script that Faith had written years ago was actually turned into a short years ago. This was about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. It was a short that actually played here. So we already have ties to the festival, and they kind of wanted to see what we had, and they took it, and they liked it. I mean, it doesn't hurt that we're, you know, 10 minutes away, but we've played up and down all over the East Coast. We're up in your neck of the woods, up in Woods Hole, yeah. So we've been playing it around over the past year. We've just been sort of sending out to festivals and just seeing what people think, but this is probably going to be the last festival we're going to do.
End of the festival. We took about a year hitting all the festivals, and this will probably be our big coup de grace, and then we want to try to get this in the hands of some distributors.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about a First Glance here is that they have a Hollywood branch, and so we played it up and down the East Coast, and people around here have a semblance of who we are. But as far as out in LA, no one knows we exist. So if we do well here, hopefully we can get out there to First Glance Hollywood, and then we'll try to make a splash out there and go from there.
Excellent. No, and it looks like you guys got a really great crowd while you were here, and you know, packed house, and that's got to make you feel good, especially because you've played probably out in this area before. To keep people coming back is a real great thing, and you don't see it very often in mainstream film, but you do really see that passion come through for projects, and you know, with independent film, it's a great thing. So, do you already have some interest in terms of distribution or anything like that in California?
We have a few little things, but to be honest with you, we pretty much kept it under the radar up until now because we didn't really want to put it out there without our name on it and being as proud of it as we would be. So like I said, we took this past year to sort of get feedback from festivals, from people, and we've since done a tweak here, a tweak there. We've done some reshoots, things like that, and now it's right at the place where now we're gonna hit the distributors hard, and hopefully the rest of the country can see it the way that they've seen it around here.
Nice. Film festivals, good focus groups.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you guys for talking to us here, and